welcome everyone back to another Footy Consultancy podcast. Today we've got Callum, Harley and Danny Barlow from the States. How you doing, boys?
Yeah,
very
good,
well,
not
thank
bad.
you.
Good, man. How's COVID treating you over there?
It's not too bad at the minute, to be honest. We're able to train every day and playing matches at the minute as well, so we're getting around it, but we still have to get tested every day, which isn't fun. Like,
Decent.
Training with the masks on as well. It's it's nice and hot.
Really, I never realised that they were doing daily training, testing for you over there as well.
Yeah, you have to like keep switching your nostrils because one nostril gets scabby, so you have to go to the next one because you're getting that thing rubbed up. It's brutal to say the least. Like,
yeah, it's not fun. Like,
so did you come back over at Christmas?
I did.
I didn't actually. I stayed. I went to Disney World with my girlfriend and that's
Oh, lovely. How romantic.
I know.
And what about you, Danny? Did you come back over?
Yeah, I came back for Christmas. We got a good break because obviously school finished early because of COVID and stuff. So it's back for like 6 weeks, which is usually about 4. So it was nice.
And what did you think about the restrictions over here compared to what you used to in America?
Well, to be honest, I can't remember. I think at the start, like there was stuff open because I remember going to play like five-a-side with my mates and stuff when I first got back, and then obviously it went in a complete frenzy right before Christmas. So it was crazy times. Like, but obviously coming back here, it seems a bit more laxed here, rather than back home.
Yeah. I think it sounds like it's really positive if it's testing you every day because over here, the non-league system, it's been shut down. You know, college football, university football is completely shut down. Other than the very top elite football, you can't go out and play football at all. So at least they're being proactive there in the keeping you on the pitch, which I think is a massive bonus.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
So I'll start with you, Callum. If you just want to talk through your journey from when you started out playing football when you were younger and how that translated in the opportunity for you to go over to America.
Yeah, it was. Well, I started when I was about. To be fair, before I would walk, my dad was keeper coach, so we'd like walk around the house and throw balls at us and stuff. I'd be crawling around the house trying to catch them and that. But being a goalkeeper, I never really had a choice of going outfield because like I was the youngest in my family, so they just used to stick us in the goal at the park and stuff, and absolutely loved it. Played for Cramlington Juniors when I was 6 until I was 13. Had a year after that at Wallsend, and then went to North Shields after that. So I was 15 to 18 for North Shields. But my college life, I started at Time Met when I was 16. And that was through Pass for Soccer, with my agency, to help me get over to America. So that's why I went to Time Met, to try and get that stepping stone into America. And then after that, after the Time Met, I went to a place called Jones College in Mississippi, which is a junior college. So I was there for 2 years and then graduated there. And then at Saginaw Valley State University now for my final 2 years.
And you've had a lot of success in your first 2 years over there as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I got 2 championship rings over here on my bedside table. So nice and blingy.
I recall seeing you score a very important penalty as well.
Yeah, that was chaos. I managed to make 2 saves in my sophomore year in the championship final, in the penalty shootout, and I remember standing there and I was thinking. So I was told that I was the 5th penalty taker because the guy who was 5th, I was 6th. The guy who was 5th said his foot was hurting or something. I think he just bottled it personally. And then my coach says, right, okay, you're 5th. But so I made those 2 penalty saves, and then I just needed my centre mid to score this penalty to win it. And he's absolutely rattled it off the crossbar. And there's me thinking, all right, here we go. There's me having to score this next pen to win it. And luckily, it was a boggy pitch as well, like so muddy. And luckily, I just put it in the bottom corner. And after that, I kind of just blacked out, really. I remember watching the video back and I was just off running. did like a
I
little.
think we've all seen the video. It just erupted, didn't it?
Aye, it was class, unbelievable. One of the best nights of my life, to be fair.
And how have you found the transition from playing college football? I know you had a little stint with Whitley Bay as well, didn't you, in the Northern League? Before
Yeah, I had it. That was good. That toughened me up playing with men. It was a good standard as well, but it's a lot more athletic here. Yeah. Very fast paced. Lads are just animals. They're so fit, and like it's a lot more. It's technical back home. You care more about the ball at your feet, but there it's like just running, and like you don't have any more than 2 seconds on the ball because you're gonna get chased down. So
I know you'd already experienced playing over in the States when you went over with Time Met on tour.
Yeah.
Did that prepare you at all for what you expected the standard to be like?
It did, but it was the thing that prepared me the most actually was the heat. I knew what I was getting into when I moved over just because of that few days there. So I didn't just go to my first training session and just die pretty much. But like there was a few good teams when we played there, so I kind of understood that it was going to be fast paced and it was going to be a very athletic challenge. But that step that Time Met took, that was really helpful and beneficial for me and other lads that went to America as well.
Brilliant. And Danny, jumping over to you, just if you want to talk through how you started out in football and how that took you all the way to America.
Yeah, so as a young'un, I was I think about 4 or 5. I signed for North Shields Juniors. Played there. Was at Sunderland for a bit from about 9 to about 13 or 14. Came back and played for Shields. And then I went to Scunthorpe United at about 15, 16. It didn't work out there, so I came back and went to Cal's rival college, Monks Eaton Football Academy.
Yeah,
with Lee Picton and Graham Fenton, and just those are probably my best 2 years playing back at home under them two. That like absolutely fantastic coaches and brought me on quite a bit. They took us to South Shields for a bit as well. Played there. That was a good experience. Then I was lucky enough in my second year at Monks Eaton to play for England schoolboys, which was a great experience. We managed to win the tournament. Like it was just against like Scotland, Wales, Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland, and that was just a great experience as well.
Have we lost Danny?
Oh, where did you lose us from? Sorry, my Wi-Fi is terrible in my apartment.
No, that's fine. Just you were just talking about the experience of playing for England schools.
I played there. Played there for us like it was just like a mini tournament against like Scotland, Republic of Ireland, Wales and Northern Ireland, and we managed to win that. And then obviously I kind of knew going into Monks Eaton that they had a history of sending lads across to the States.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough that there was a few coaches come over, and one of them was a school called East Tennessee State, obviously based in Tennessee, and went there, played there for 2 years, did really well. Kind of wanted to move on to like a bigger school, so to speak, to try and obviously get drafted and play at the next level. So I then went to the University of Denver, and then I won't go into too much detail, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work out there. Kind of just didn't really see eye to eye with the coach and different things like that. And then because I'm unsure what to do, whether I should just write it out or try and do something different. And luckily the opportunity came to play at Saginaw here, and I just haven't looked back since. Like absolute top group of lads and top coaching staff and everything. So just everything's kind of fell into place there now. So really enjoying it.
One thing I wanted to touch on, and as I say, and that's how I know Callum. I was at Time Met as a coach then. I was also the county and district manager. We used to work with Pass for Soccer, and they would sell the dream about going to America and playing football. But one thing they never used to talk about was the education side. And I just want a little bit of an insight from the pair of you. What is the education like there as opposed to what you're used to in the UK?
I think it's a big shock when you first come over, because I mean, like I was doing like A levels and working back home at Monks Eaton, and it's like here it's homework every day. So there's like something small, but you do it like every single day. or there's something due every other day kind of thing. And back home, it's all building up to like exams at the end of the year. But here, it's like there'll be like things called midterms, which you have halfway through, or like there's homework due at the weekend. There's a test next week, and it like to kind of like get accustomed to it. You have to just realize that you need to constantly check and make sure that like you've got stuff, you know, when stuff is due and different things like that. So it's a lot more fast paced here on the education side.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's really, I love it, because when you're back home and you're building up for them that 2 years, and it always goes down that final week of like exams, it's a bit hectic. But here it's like every semester you just do these classes, and then that's you done with those classes after it's like 4 months, and then you go to the next class, and it's all every 2 weeks you'll take a test, so it's all fresh in your mind.
Yeah.
And as long as you've done the homework, then you'll be flying. So I love the education side here. It's a lot more stress free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds really good. And another thing that I suppose the three main things you're going to look at there is the football or soccer, what you call it over there, the education, but the big one for a lot of people is what's the lifestyle like as opposed to being in the UK?
Well, when you're up north here in the winter, it's very, very, very cold. It's just happened to get above zero now, but it's very cold. But me and Danny both lived in the south for a bit, and it's absolutely scalding hot when you're walking around in the summer and that, and you have to find shade. But
yeah,
the like lifestyle itself, if you're around any lakes and stuff, like it's beautiful waters and stuff, and you can go swimming and all that, it's really nice lifestyle.
Yeah, it's just like there's so much you can do, like, because obviously it's like the size of a continent, so like it's got everything. Like if you want to go skiing, you can go to Colorado. If you want the beach, like Florida, like there's just so much to do, and the lifestyle is very good. Like,
yeah.
What's the cost of living like?
I think it's probably you get more for your money here,
Yeah.
but like it's depending on where you live. So like where me and Cal are, it's like quite not rural, but it's like an hour from or 2 hours from Detroit, which is the nearest city. So obviously the further away from a big city you are, the cheaper it's going to be, rather than if you live like in a city, it's going to be more expensive. Like when I lived in Denver, the rent was really expensive because it was close to downtown, as they call it here. But the further you are away, like some of the houses that like teammates I've been to, it's like huge houses on like a lake, but it's a lot cheaper because obviously they live like in a less built up area kind of thing.
I think Sean can appreciate that. Is I met Sean from when I moved out to Juventus and I lived in the Middle East. Sean lived out in the Middle East for 5 years, and it does take and get some used to when you first get there. But I think if you go there with an open mind and embrace it, going abroad for somebody, I think it's an amazing opportunity. And I don't get myself why more people don't do it.
Yeah, as long as you're open to the thought of doing stuff instead of just sitting in your house doing nothing. Like if you go out and try like cultured stuff, like I don't think I had ever had venison near me, and now I absolutely love it because I was living in the south for so long, and that's all they do.
Yeah,
and like there's endless amount of things that I've done, which I wouldn't like 5 years ago. I would have been like, oh, I would never do that. And it's really cool, like just to say, oh, I've done this, I've done that.
Do you find when you're over there that you need a lot of support from fellow British students or people, or does the cultures kind of align a lot easier?
I think there's like obviously small differences, but I think obviously being from England, it's quite lucky that we kind of have similar cultures to like the American people. So I don't think it's a bit as big of an adjustment if say we were coming from like France or Germany kind of thing, because obviously we speak the same language and we can get on with the boys. But on our team, we have quite a few British lads, and it's obviously a lot easier to kind of get on with them because they can relate to you like with things back home and stuff. But yeah, I think there's not too much of a difference between like our culture and American culture.
I think it's good as well, like people's parents and stuff always looking out for you as well, because they know that you find miles away from your own parents.
Yeah.
It's always like, oh, if you need a place to stay for the weekend, don't hesitate to ask. And the guys' parents on the team and my last college as well are really good at that. Just making sure that you've always got a roof over your head. If you need anything at all, then you can ask them. And I think it just kind of comes down to their culture of being hospitality.
Yeah,
being
definitely.
Stuff. And it's they're
when you're
great.
playing,
They're great with it.
when you're playing over there, have you come across some like unbelievable players that you think, wow, how are you not like playing in the Premier League or something like that?
Yeah, I played against a kid he played for Tyler, Texas, and he was taking everything on his right foot. And I was like, I told my defender, I was like, I'll put him on his left, And the kid's absolutely rifled it from 30 yards right to the stanch. And I was like, mate, fair enough. He's like 6'2" and he moves like he's 5'4", and I'm like, it's just ridiculous.
Wow.
Very athletic, aren't the players over there? You said they
So,
the S&C program, like compared to what you were getting at college in England.
well, we actually just had a strength and conditioning session today, and we do it 3 times a week, and it's like weight and stuff, explosive power and all that, and it's like really, really good for you, really good.
There's a huge focus here on like weight sessions and like strength and conditioning, like compared to England, like they love like weights and all that kind of stuff here, and it's class for your development, and like it's made me fit so much fitter and stronger. But like there's such like a heavy emphasis because I think obviously the main sports here are like football and basketball, so they kind of take like little parts of that into what they do with us, and it can be helpful in parts, but obviously like lifting like dead heavy weights can take its strain on your body, like. But I mean, overall it does help like massively.
And another thing that was quite interesting though, we've all been in a dressing room in England, and we all know what the banter's like in England. What's it like in America compared to in England?
Do you want to go, Cal?
It's different. Like I don't know if I can say this, but like obviously in England, like lads don't mind going in the showers like after a game, which is fine. But it's a bit strange to them when you're going in the shower without your boxers on. But it's like our culture. Like we're fine with it. And then the first time I did it in America, everyone looked at me. It was like, what's this kid doing? I was like, there was 2. I was lucky there was 2 other Irish guys with me, and they were doing the same. So we were like,
it's probably a little bit more reserved compared to the dressing room in England.
The crack is a bit different. It is a bit different, but I mean, overall, obviously you've got the common.
Is he coming back?
Oh, Danny's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, his Wi-Fi.
No, it's terrible.
No.
I know it's where we live. The apartment blocks where we live. Complained so many times, and they just tell me to get our own Wi-Fi. So, like obviously, I was saying, like you've got the common thing for everyone is football. So like it's easy to get on with people, and it's easy to make mates just because obviously you're with these boys every day, training with them and stuff like that.
Yeah, you've always got that one thing where if you need to talk about something, you just talk about football. Like, oh, this happened in this training session and all that, and you can talk for hours about it, which is good.
In regards to your futures now, do you think your futures lie in football, or do you think your future might take you somewhere different?
Definitely lying in football. Like, I can't see myself doing anything that's not going to be to do with football as a job afterwards. Me and Danny were talking about setting up a little scholarship company after our colleges and after our college life. So we obviously want to like stay in football because it's been a lifestyle ever since we've been born, really. So
I think as well, obviously back home there's a massive, especially in the northeast, there's like a massive non-league set up, and I think we're lucky in that sense, as if we ever, do want to come home, we can play there, or there's so many like coaching opportunities here, and I don't think we'll ever be far away from like the football side of things.
Yeah.
And if you had to give one bit of advice to somebody that's thinking about coming over to America, what would it be?
Oh, you go first, Cal.
No, I was gonna say just go for it. Like, don't hold back on, because as soon as you hold back, then that's you just. It's kind of setting yourself up for failure, really. If you just going in, you're not going to be happy there, because you're in, the way your mind goes is you're on the other side of the world from your family and friends and stuff. If you're sitting in your room doing nothing, it's just going to take its toll. Mm-hmm. So I would just say, just go for it. Like, if people ask you to do stuff, just say yeah. Even if it sounds like something you don't want to do, just say yeah, let's do it. Just give it a try.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think the main thing that I've realized when I came out here is the most important thing is like the relationships that you make. So going out of your way to do something or just trying something, it's just only going to, you know, better you and better your experience out here. So I just say what like Cal said, just go for it. Don't hold back.